שלום קהל יקר, כאן איריס לקנר, האוצרת והמנהלת של פסטיבל הקולנוע הרומני בישראל, מהדורת 2025 עכשיו, ואיתי נמצא הבימאי בוגדן מורשאנו, שיביא את סרטו השנה החדשה שלא הייתה, שמעולם לא הייתה, לפסטיבל. בעצם אנחנו מביאים, הוא לא יכול להגיע, אבל הוא איתנו כאן. זה יהיה סרט הפתיחה, ותהיינה 8 הקרנות של הסרט מצפון ועד דרום בכל הסינמטקים. כך שאני ממליצה לכם לבוא ולצפות. זהו סרט הביכורים, פיצ'ר ראשון לאחר 6 סרטים קצרים. הסרט זכה באינספור פרסים, ביניהם פרס אוריזונטי בפסטיבל ונציה ופרס פיפרסקי, ועכשיו הגיע הזמן לשיחה. Good day to you, Bogdan. How
Good
are
day.
you doing?
Good day. I'm in Romania, somewhere in the north, and thank you for inviting me here.
Okay, great. So let's talk about the movie, the very awarded movie, I must say, that we chose it as our opening movie at the festival.
Thank
And
you for
just
that.
as I said, it will be screened in 8 places. So
Wow.
it's
Well,
great.
cool.
Yes. People
Yes.
all over the country can see the movie.
Well,
Now,
great, because I have a lot of friends there, so I'm happy about that. I
great.
will let them know. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, when I first watched the movie, I said, just a minute, I remember something like that, a little scene from the movie. And then I realized that I saw your short movie.
Yeah.
And it is a
Which is
part.
included, it's included somehow,
Yes,
cut,
yes, but it took
re-edited,
me a
short.
moment. I said to myself, "What's going on?" And then I understood why I remembered it. So, how did you choose to move from a short movie that was awarded as well, I must say, to a feature? And is it because it already won some prizes? Did it have another a reason, connection? Please tell us.
No, not at all. It's not the same. It's not like that. I mean, I wanted to make this project before actually shooting the short film called the Christmas Gift.
Mhm.
So when I was filming that piece, I knew that it's just a fragment from a
Okay,
bigger, more
project.
panoramic project. Yes, actually, I started with a story about the demolitions in Bucharest, and I kept on adding a lot of other stories, and then I filmed this little short, yeah, which to me was like a pitch, like a test.
Okay.
I was testing actually the style, documentary style, and the black humor, the dark humor, sorry, comedy, yeah, the tone.
Okay. And it worked. It worked just
Apparently,
well.
yes. Apparently, yes. So
Okay.
I was told it works.
Yes. Now, how did you come to choose these 6 characters that we see and get to know through the movie?
Yeah, well, they are almost exemplary, let's say, for the what I wanted to achieve with this film, which is an overview of a day in these last days of Ceausescu regime. So I was looking, I started, as I said, about a story about demolition, and then I had the characters, and then it was the worker, and then I was also interested in something that I considered particularly ironical, which is a TV show that was filmed in November, praising the leader,
Yeah.
and was never broadcasted, of course, because by Christmas time, Ceausescu was already dead. He was
Yeah.
shot. So I mean, this particular story with the TV show had a certain appeal to me because of this irony of history, if you want. There were a lot of people involved in producing that TV show. A lot of actors were forced, actually, some of them
Mhm.
maybe willingly took part in the show. So, considering this and taking into account that the revolution in Romania is, to my knowledge, one of the, if not the one that was televised, the first one televised, if you want. So it was also this TV language, if you want, the the main theme is the TV circus. That's why the film is called The New Year That Never
That
Came.
never came. Yes,
Yeah.
and we have those two characters, the actress actually and the director. And I'm pleased to
Yeah.
say that we are going to host the director. I mean, the actor that plays the director, Mihai Kalin.
Mihai Kalin. Oh, yes.
Yes, at our
Right.
festival, he will be at the opening in Tel Aviv on the
Oh,
14th of
yes.
May and at the opening in Jerusalem on the 15th. So we're very
Yes.
glad about it.
I'm
Now,
also very glad, yes, about
how
this.
old were you when the
I
revolution
was,
happened? And
yeah,
how
I
did it
was
affect you or the people around you?
sure. I was 15 years old, and I remember clearly that day. And I remember it affected me, the whole communism actually affected me and my family, and somehow the whole country, I would say. Because if you would like to use an analogy, a comparison, I would say that communism it's worse than 40 years of COVID. If you can, I mean, it's if you
Okay.
imagine that COVID is bad, all right, okay. Communism was something like a pest for 40 years, in my opinion. I remember that. I remember the schizophreny that seized, that was apparent all over the place because people had double lives. One was in the public, where they were praising the leader and his deeds. And that rings a bell also nowadays because we have so many leaders that they
Mhm.
consider they're infallible, and they throw their countries in terrible wars. And yeah,
Yeah, we are very familiar with that,
I'm sure.
unfortunately.
I'm sure. Yes.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying. Yeah, all right. And the private life where people actually were whispering the truth. That's why in this film there is actually only one character that is telling the truth, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, two. Is the one is a kid. He is telling that the,
The
the
truth.
emperor is naked, and there's another, but I will leave the audience to
Yeah.
discuss which
To
one.
discover which one exactly.
Yes,
And
yes,
kids have this tendency, there is a certain point that they still are not aware of really lying or manipulating, so they say what they feel. Their
yeah,
truth is the truth. And
exactly.
yes, it's very interesting, and he's so cute, this child. And well, you need to see the movie so you can understand about it. How long eventually did it take for you to make the feature itself?
Well, it took me, as I said, it took me a while to realize exactly how I'm going to make it because it's a different kind of a film. It's very structured as a script. It has a lot of characters. It has a sort of six main characters, I would say, and a lot of up to 40 something characters because it's a film about the
Yeah.
revolution. It's a film with a lot of filming, shooting locations. It's a lot of environments. So it took me a while to realize how to do it. But I started to write the script from the very ending because it was very clear to me. And then when I finally realized how the whole thing is going to be deployed. Then it we filmed in 30 something days over a period of, let's say, 3 months or something like that.
Okay. You had a co-writer? There was,
No, 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 no,
you
no.
wrote it all by yourself.
I wrote it by myself, but sure, in the process of writing it, I was actually checking with some friends of mine, and yeah, I was asking for their, let's say, advice, and yeah, that's it. But this is
What do you feel that was the biggest challenge while shooting this movie?
to have a common acting convention for all these actors with all these characters, and also to keep a continuity somehow with the days and the atmosphere and whatever I recalled from those days. It was an unusually sunny day for December 1989, and also I think that Bucharest has changed a lot in this, luckily, in these 35 years. So now it's very difficult to find the slightest, angle to depict communism. Luckily, I'm saying. Maybe it's more
Okay.
communism in mentalities, in the institutions, than outside.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to mention this, that I don't feel it's vanished completely. Uh,
No,
the
it's
attitude still
yeah,
needs to
yeah.
be changed. Yes.
Sure, especially in the institutions. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would dare to say that it's a different country. Luckily,
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes there is a revival of old ideas for some reasons. Now the
Or
reason for
just
this,
some people that didn't change the way they
yeah,
think or they work. This
I think that
I
I think
feel
that I think that now is an explanation. Let's not forget that Romania is in the first line, in a front line. I mean, we have uh, a war close to, and a European country has been attacked by another one, and there's a lot of pressure on the Romanian society, which so far I think it resisted pretty well.
quite well. Yes.
Yes.
What do you think is the secret, the magic of this movie? Because it had a great success abroad and in festivals, and it is very loved. Uh, what do you feel that is the main point that make people love it so much?
I think it's
Get
the tone.
attached to
I
it.
think, yeah, I think it's the tone. This tragic comedy, the some very serious, almost grave subject, but it's treated in a somehow not in a very light manner. But sometimes you can laugh about the absurdity of that life, and maybe it rings a bell about the absurdities of some aspects of our life, as in the present moment. So maybe this is it. Maybe in a very weird way, it is an updated film. It's a very contemporary with what we live now. And I thought, why? I think that the explanation is that the world somehow nowadays has something in common with that period and the dark period in the history of Europe.
In
I
what
think it's
way?
I think it's the abolition of the critical thinking. Now there is this tendency to think in only two colors, black and white. There are no gray shades. It's either I am right and you're wrong, and or he's right and I'm wrong. There is no common ground for finding the truth together. This is I think that is something that is common in the world nowadays, and maybe I think the audience they realize that by watching the film, and I think that will, for instance, I hope really that it will affect a bit, uh, at least the way the public will consider some aspects of our life, the wars that surround us, the to question even the decisions of uh, the powerful of the day, the leaders, our leaders, that this is, I hope that this will be the outcome.
Okay, no doubt that a movie that marks you in a way or makes you go home and still think about it, talk about it, is something that is positive in the big picture. And if this is your wish as the creator of the movie, I believe that this is what will happen to audience, at least some of them. What is the most important thing for you when you tell a story in a movie?
Oh, to be human, to tell it from a, I would say, universal point of view, which is very how humans actually, how we as humans, we interact with history. In this case, let's say, I didn't. This is not a film about communism. This the communism of these days, extraordinary days, are just a canvas, a background for the story. But what is the film about actually is how ordinary people relate to these changes that are in the air. So I think that this is might be the trick actually.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
does this reflect on how you feel? What's the most important thing to you about doing movies?
Oh no, because I mean not necessarily, but my next film, for instance, is an animation set in 1910, again in a harbor. It's adult animation, but so it's I don't know. Maybe there is something common. I will have to think. Maybe it's not up to me. Maybe it's up to the film critics or the audience to find something common in what I do. But in a way, I'm interested in how history affects us, or to even to answer to this question, what is history, when history does begin or ends. Is it history is in the making every day, or is just some, in some extraordinary days being manifest?
Okay. This is actually your debut feature.
Yeah.
You made shorts up to now.
Yes.
Why the change? Uh,
No, I actually, I consider myself a writer. Almost my whole life I was writing either for advertising as script writing for advertising, as or short novels in literature or in journalism, and then I started to write for film. So, it's I know I approached cinema via the text, which is yeah. So in a way, for me, it's a
the
very
natural
normal,
thing.
yeah, a natural thing. Yes, it's just some other ways of telling stories.
Stories. Okay.
Yeah, right. So I
Uh,
consider myself more of a storyteller than, which is was yeah, pretty active in literature. Maybe I will return.
okay. How was the casting process? Did you have in mind the actors that are actually in the movie? Was it a long process to find them?
I actually had some actors in mind, but of course, There are a lot of other faces, new ones, for instance, and some discoveries as well. Because I have a lot. I have an ensemble cast of 40 something actors. So yeah, there was room for everybody.
Yeah,
New
okay. Some
faces,
more
old
familiar,
faces.
some less.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yes. But it
If
was
I'm
kind of
talking
difficult,
about
let's say.
more
Yeah,
familiar, you have also in your movie Julian Postelniku, and he's
exactly.
also a guest of our festival that actually plays in three movies that are
In
shown
this,
in the
yeah.
festival. He's very busy.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. He's a big name now. He's all over
Yes,
the
yes.
place. He's
So
absolutely a
we'll
great actor. Yes.
Yes, so we'll see him here too. Did something surprise you in the way the audience reacted to the movie
Oh,
in
yeah.
the
A
world?
lot. A lot. A lot.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, this novel by Ernesto Sabato, which is called The Tunnel. And in this novel, the subject is it's a painter who's, actually was painting one work, and he had only one viewer that completely understood the film. So to me, art is works in this same way. If you'll ever find someone who really understands or really connects to your film, that's a miracle. Well, but in the case of this film, we had a lot of people that connected, either from Romania, which was surprisingly on top in the box office for 2 weeks in a row, and it stayed in cinemas. I think,
Surprising.
yeah, and it stayed in cinema for 6 weeks, which is absolutely unheard of. I mean, and then outside Romania, which was it's been traveling for 6 months already, all over the place, from India to Buenos Aires, and yeah,
And the
that's a miracle.
reactions were the same.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the film was awarded in 20 festivals already, and sometimes it won the audience award, sometimes what the critics award, sometimes the jury awards, and so it's a mixed appreciation, I would say, of this film. But that it's increasing the my stupefaction, if you want, because it seems that it's universally well received.
another reason for me to choose it as the opening movie, because I said it must be. And for the people who already saw it a bit at the Haifa Film Festival,
Yeah.
they were amazed. They told me, it's a great one. Just tell me I'm going to see it again. So when people come to you this way, it's a great reaction, just
I'm very
as the one
glad.
you expected. Yes, I'll be glad to report to you what were the other reactions after the screenings here at the festival.
Please do
Uh,
so, yes.
Yes. So I invite our audience to come and see the opening movie and think about it and enjoy it as much as possible. And I hope to see you maybe with your new movie in the near future with us here. In the meanwhile, I want to thank you for your time and good luck with the place you are in right now.
Yes.
And
Actually, we're now traveling on a traveling show with this film in Romania, in the north of Romania. We are taking this we're taking profit of this occasion to show the film, but also to launch some debates with historians and journalists and victims of the regime to be more elaborate, more precise about those times.
Okay,
Yes.
it sounds interesting. We'll try to make
Yeah.
some of it here with the actor coming and the audience itself. Thank you very much for your time, ואני מזמינה אתכם לבוא לראות את הסרט. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.